This is part 2 of what is the potential of this relationship. So in part 1, we had explored the emotional depth and the spiritual significance of this connection, uncovering that there are certainly layers of intuition. It does speak of soul bonds, soul ties, and the choices that may influence its potential. We had looked at this Seven of Cups, revealing a crossroads in love, one where illusions, dreams, or multiple paths exist. The Three of Cups, it did show us that there is this presence of joy and celebration, but there also could be a hint here at the possibility of an emotional connection extending beyond just two people, like we had seen here in this soul family card, suggesting that there may be more than just one other person to think of. The Queen of Cups really reminded us that the intuition and emotional wisdom will be really key in navigating what unfolds next. The combination of the soul family and the prediction oracle cards are signifying that this relationship may be divinely guided, really influenced by past connections, and holding an unfolding future has yet to be revealed. So really that was just the beginning. We have so many other cards to explore, and in this second part, we're going to dive a little deeper into the remaining cards, unpacking the truths, the challenges, and the defining moments that might shape this relationship's potential, what hidden influences might be at play, and what turning point might be coming. So let's have a look with the other cards. Let's start with the Hierophant and the Fool card. When they appear together, they have quite a powerful contrast that speaks about tradition and rebellion, commitment and spontaneity, stability and risk. These two cards are almost opposite in their meanings, and they can be talking about opposite approaches to life and to love, which can really mean a lot of different things depending on the dynamics of this relationship. This particular pairing suggests that the potential of this relationship hinges on whether two people can reconcile their differences in values, in their commitment styles, or even in their life paths. Where the Hierophant represents its structure and traditional relationships, or even spiritually guided connections, while the Fool can often represent this freedom, new beginnings, and unpredictability. Now, while not necessarily a traditional meaning of the Hierophant card, I often see this as a card that talks about spiritual bonds and spiritual ties with others. So this does go really very well with the soul family card that we have picked up here. So there could be this feeling that there is soul bonds and soul ties between the both of you. And the other interesting thing here with the Fool card is we have these little scarlet pimpernel flowers. And when we look at the spiritual symbolism of scarlet pimpernels, it talks about entanglement and emotional entanglement. The other flower that we have here is called a morning glory. And morning glories, they bloom in the morning and then by evening they have faded, really symbolizing a need to embrace the present moment rather than overthinking the future. Overall, the Fool carries this same energy, the same message. It's saying that love itself is an adventure, and sometimes the best approach is to trust the journey rather than trying to control it. I have often said to some of my private clients who come for readings to not just look forward to the destination, but to try and enjoy the journey itself. If this connection is going to thrive, then it will require a willingness to go with the flow and explore where it leads without fear. One or both of you may really need to let go of any preconceived ideas about how relationships should unfold, instead of being able to embrace the magic of the unexpected. Even when the prediction card and the Queen of Cups cards have shown up, and you have an very intuitive knowing of what the outcome may be for the both of you, rarely does it come to be exactly as you see it. Quite often there is a slightly different way that it is brought in by the universe. Maybe even better than anticipated. It is showing us that this relationship could be one that starts really suddenly and very intensely. It could be a relationship that might require a leap of faith. So someone may need to step outside of their comfort zone to really embrace the potential of this love. And maybe it isn't meant to follow the conventional rules that we're seeing here with the Hierophant. This can be talking about long-distance relationship or something that challenges societal norms or expectations. Going back to these morning glories, so these wither very quickly if not nurtured, and this relationship might need consistent emotional openness and honesty for it to truly last, just like we'd seen here with this Queen of Cups. These morning glories, they also remind us that some relationships are meant to be very brief but powerful, while others can grow roots if nurtured. Certainly this connection is teaching valuable lessons about trust, about adventure, and about following the heart. And it may not fully be defined yet. There's still space for it to evolve into something lasting or to remain a fleeting one, but meaningful experience. It's really suggesting that if both people are open to adventure and trust, then this relationship could evolve into something deeply meaningful. But it will require courage and a willingness to embrace this uncertainty. And like we'd mentioned here earlier, there does seem to be an emotional entanglement and feelings between the both of you. Now we have a couple of cards that speak of potential travel here, the Fool and this Eight of Wands. So this can be talking about some sort of momentum that is potentially building up, and it can represent rapid movement, sudden shifts. It can talk about communication and definitely talks about an acceleration of energy. When this particular card shows up in a relationship reading, it suggests that things may be picking up quickly, whether that is emotionally, physically, or even in terms of clarity about where things are headed. So this can be suggesting that its potential might be revealed soon, that things might start moving faster than expected. It is saying that there is a shift happening, and it is happening fast. Really, the Eight of Wands is a game changer in this reading because it is representing that momentum, these rapid shifts, and an unfolding future that is moving faster than expected. When it comes to the Eight of Wands, it really has a few different time frames. It does talk about 8 days, it talks about 8 weeks, and it talks about 8 months. So when we pair it with some of the other cards that we have looked at, here with the Seven of Cups, which represents that confusion or multiple choices or that uncertainty, the Eight of Wands is representing this sudden clarity, an action and forward movement. It suggests that any uncertainty or indecision that has been clouding this relationship is about to be resolved. The speed at which these choices are going to be presenting may force a decision sooner than expected, and one or both of you may have to choose a path instead of lingering in indecision. What this really means is that there's a reality check that is coming. A decision is going to be made whether you will move forward together or whether you will go your separate ways. If there has been some sort of third-party energy, whether that's a romantic one or whether that is talking about external influences like family or past relationships, then this Eight of Wands is suggesting that clarity is coming in fast. Someone may soon make this choice between several options or express their true desires. On a positive note, this could very much be indicating a joyful reunion or celebration ahead, something that's going to bring this sense of excitement and movement in the right direction. So if there's been some sort of indecision due to outside influences, then this clarity and resolution are coming in fast. And there may be a reconnection, a confession, or a decision. When we pair this with the Fool card, and this taking a leap of faith or starting a new journey and trusting in the unknown, the Eight of Wands is suggesting that things are moving quickly in that direction. This combination is highly impulsive and spontaneous, and where one person may be about to make some sort of bold, unexpected move, possibly confessing their feelings or making a major decision about this particular relationship. A big leap of faith is approaching fast, and this relationship is really about to take an unexpected turn, and someone will really need to trust where this is leading. So we've spoken about this momentum and about this emotional intuition from the Queen of Cups, the need to trust with the Hierophant and the Fool card. But now we have to address the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Swords. Now these cards, they introduce themes of deception, avoidance, painful endings, and hard truths, suggesting that while this relationship certainly has potential, it does carry a lot of significant challenges. We had spoken about a major shift that is about to take place. And when we combine these cards with what we have already looked at, then this combination is telling a powerful story about a relationship that might be at a breaking point. And it's talking about there's this moment where truth, freedom, and commitment collide. It is saying that something is coming to a head quickly, whether that's an emotional realization, a sudden confession, or a dramatic shift in the relationship's course. The Fool is wanting to leap forward into the unknown, but the Ten of Swords suggests that there is a painful truth that must be confronted first. There needs to be some sort of ending or emotional crisis. So this means that the situation is escalating really quickly. This turning point is inevitable. One person may want a fresh start, but the other may not be emotionally ready due to past wounds or even deceptions. So there is this strong potential for this connection to turn into something meaningful, but really only if both people can find this common ground between commitment and individuality. This Seven of Swords that we see here suggests that someone has been avoiding the truth, really hiding their feelings, or not being fully transparent in this relationship. And I feel like it is all coming clear and all will need to be addressed. So maybe you have been expecting a really important conversation or event that is going to reveal what has been hidden. This pace of this Eight of Wands ensures that the situation won't stay unclear for long. Now, we had spoken earlier about being able to go with the flow here with this Fool card, that although you may have a really good idea at what the outcome may look like, it may come in a little bit differently than you are anticipating. And with this Ten of Swords, it could be talking about a painful but necessary truth really brings in a new direction. So it can suggest a major ending, a betrayal, or a really harsh realization, one that really cannot be ignored. However, the Fool immediately coming up here suggests that once this painful truth is confronted, a new beginning is possible. There is some sort of cycle that is ending, but it isn't necessarily the end of the relationship. It can be talking about the end of an illusion, an end of a deception, or an end to uncertainty. It feels like if both people embrace honesty, then there is room for a fresh start. However, if this avoidance continues, then the connection may not be able to survive. Some of the really defining moments within the readings here are the Eight of Wands and the Ten of Swords. Again, saying that there is something big that is about to happen quickly. Either a deep realization or a conversation, a moment of truth that's really going to change everything. It's also saying that these hidden truths or avoidance will no longer be tolerated. This Seven of Swords suggests deception or fear of confrontation, but this Ten of Swords ensures that the truth will come out one way or another. The last card that we haven't spoken of is this Six of Pentacles, and this really introduces a final but crucial element to this reading. It speaks of balance, it speaks of reciprocity, and the equal need for give and take. This entire reading has shown that this relationship is pointed at some sort of crossroads where truth, trust, and personal alignment will determine its fate. And this Six of Pentacles is really now asking, is this connection truly balanced? So the core theme of this reading is talking about reciprocity and truth. We've seen a mix of deep emotions here with this Queen of Cups. We have this fast-moving change with the Eight of Wands, the hidden truths with this Seven of Swords, and then this Ten of Swords. And there's been a lot of tension between freedom and commitment that we saw here with the Hierophant and the Fool card. And with this, there's been a lot of questioning as to which direction that this should take. And now the Six of Pentacles is here, and it is asking us, are there equal emotional investments from both sides? Is one person giving more while the other is taking? And does this relationship feel stable and mutually supportive? Or is there an imbalance in energy, effort, and honesty? This will be the deciding factor. So this relationship has potential, but really only if both people are willing to meet each other with this truth, integrity, and equal energy. If this relationship is built on trust, it will deepen. If both people can really acknowledge their fears, such as the Seven of Swords that we've spoken about, if they can let go of the past, here with this Ten of Swords, can openly communicate, then this connection could really grow into something that is very fulfilling and very reciprocal. However, if there is avoidance and imbalance and that continues, then an ending is inevitable. If one person really continues to run and hold back emotions or to give less than they receive, then the Six of Pentacles is warning that this will create a really unsustainable dynamic. The Ten of Swords suggests that if the balance isn't restored, this relationship may really reach its breaking point. So we can see that there is a shift that is coming in fast. The Fool card is inviting us to take a leap of faith, to enjoy the journey and not just the destination. And the Hierophant is really asking for this clarity in terms of value. The Seven and Ten of Swords bring unavoidable truths, and now the Six of Pentacles remind us that only a balanced and reciprocal connection can truly survive and thrive. So what we are seeing are two different outcomes. What I've really noticed is that the energy of the universe no longer supports unequal combinations and relationships. There are clearly two different paths and two different outcomes to the collective that I am reading for today. Whichever collective you fall under, there are changes that are coming in, and they're coming in really quickly, and it is going to be making you as a person leap forward. So really this is talking about a moment of truth, and what happens next will really reveal everything. So as I mentioned in most of my readings, this is a collective reading, or in this case, a couple of different collectives that I am reading for here. And not all readings are meant to resonate with you. So if you would like your own private reading where we can look into the soul dynamic between you and another, then there is a link within my bio where we can do same-day readings, or we can do one-on-one Zoom calls. For those of you that have ever been curious about learning tarot, I do have a beginner's and an intermediate class. The intermediate class, we will be very much focused on this particular deck called Antique Anatomy. Both of these classes are accredited, and upon completion, there will be an opportunity for you to receive certification. And one last offer that I have for you is this beautiful journal that comes with a set of journal prompt cards and affirmation cards. These were originally designed by me, for me, when I was single, and I really needed to work on my own self-concept and my own mindset. So, I've prettied them up to sell for others, but yet these are what I had originally created for myself and have taken me from being single into union with my divine counterpart. The links to all of these are found within my bio.